Troopers 3, virtual reality. Troopers 3, virtual reality. Troopers 3, virtual reality. Troopers 3.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another solo edition to the Rated G podcast. I am your host, G. Terado. For those of you who are new here, welcome to the show. This is a podcast where I sit down to have honest conversations and discussions with you guys and fellow. I don't know why my voice went up that high, but anyway, I like to sit down here just to talk about art and creativity, and I often have other fellow artists and creatives on to help promote their brand and to get to know them better and just purely network and have conversations. And so if you're into that type of content, please be sure to hit that like button, follow, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can keep up with the current uploads, or rather the new uploads. And be sure to check out the social media links that are provided below if you want to follow me or the featured guests, and just follow the whole artistic journey. And for everyone else who has been here before, thank you for your continued support. So yeah, let's get after it. I'm trying to shorten my intros so I don't lose the audience. Yeah. So I just want to actually let you guys know, because you might be hearing this sound. Okay, and that is my space heater, or rather a friend's space heater that was lent to us because yeah, it's been 3 weeks now without heat. And we know that the parts that we need to fix our heat have been ordered, have been delivered, but we just don't know if they've actually arrived yet. So, I called the guy that came here, and it went to voicemail. And unfortunately, I couldn't leave a voice message because the inbox is full, which I don't know. I don't know if it's normal for like these businesses to have full inboxes, but it just makes me a little suspicious. But yeah, I hope our heat gets fixed real soon, because we honestly, I'm obviously, like, I need to get work done. And even though I got the space heater, I could carry it around with me wherever I'm gonna work and stuff. But I feel bad for the cats, honestly. Like I feel like they're in hibernation mode because our floors are just so goddamn cold that they don't even want to walk around or anything. Especially the new one, the little one. She's just been buried. In our we have a weighted blanket that we stored under our bed, and she's just been like nuzzled in there and trying to stay cozy. And I feel bad. Like I feel like the cold floor is discouraging her from venturing out throughout the house. Um, but yeah, so I do apologize. And I hope that like that the noise in the background isn't gonna, discourage you guys from tuning in to any part of this podcast. I also want to remind you that especially when it comes to these solo episodes, that I always provide timestamps. So again, if you just want to, just browse through that, see what I'm talking about, and then you can just, go right to that minute point and listen to whatever. But yeah, uh, I gotta say, I am quite proud of myself today because I actually went out this morning and went for a run. It was like 35 degrees out, and I bucked up and layered up and went out there and ran. Now I only ran for 20 minutes, and it's been a while since I've done straight cardio like that. You know, like I used to do cardio back at our old apartment because our the building had a home like a gym there, and they had the elliptical machine, they had a treadmill, and I used to hit up the elliptical. Um, so I just, I haven't been able to like do any like high intensity stuff, just because of our current situation with our home gym. But yeah, it felt really good, even though like like I was feeling like I was breathing smoke. Like I felt my lungs, kind of just like getting tired. And also, I mean, it was cold out. But the cold didn't actually necessarily bother me as I was anticipating. Of course, once you get moving, your core temperature rises. But yeah, the hardest part was just like uh trying to nose breathe while it is cold, and also while snot is just like coming out of my nose, and also running on like the just like on the ground. I do prefer soft ground running just for the sake of my joints, and I believe I have psoriatic arthritis in my toes. So like just like the impact and all that. Um yeah, so that I'm kind of concerned about that, but yeah, like my feet just had to get used to the feeling of it. Um but overall, still proud of myself. I did like a mile and a half just about. Um, but we'll see. Once it gets warmer, it'll become easier, and perhaps I'll be able to at least do a mile in 10 minutes. So we'll see. Progress, right? Also, I'm also proud of myself for running without headphones. Like I just I ran in quote unquote silence. Just stuck with my thoughts. Although I didn't really have much thoughts going on. I had, if anything, I had a song playing on repeat in my head, and the song was "Left Right" by Asian pop group XG, my favorite Asian girl pop Asian pop girl group. You get my point. Um, but yeah, so that I don't know. Again, I'm kind of proud of myself for being able to like just get out of my comfort zone and conquer my inner bitch. uh, in other news, I also finally got my new driver's license. It took me 3 years to get a new one, and I gotta say, man, well, one. I know I have a chubby face, right? That's natural. But goddamn, it must be something with the lens on the cameras they use, because you look at my picture, like my face looks wider. Like again, I know my face is chubby, but not that chubby. I don't know. Maybe I'll make sure I put the photo up and post. Um and then also something I realized um at the DMV, because it's been years since I've been at a DMV, and because like now you do everything online, and I can only compare the DMV here in Richmond to uh the one up in Jersey, and that shit at the time when I did that, which probably 10 years ago. I don't know. Yeah, that shit was stressful. I mean, I'm telling if you grew up if you're a 90s kid, uh, and so I don't know why I brought that up. But anyway, like I'm sure many of you may know what I'm referring to. Like the DMV back in the day was like so stressful, nothing but lines and all that. But man, when I went to this DMV, now I don't know, it might be state to state, in terms of the experience, But this one was like it was weird. It was like, I mean, even like the look of the DMV inside, the interior looked pristine, and there really weren't many lines. Like by the time I left, there was a line. Um, I don't know what it was for, but there was like one long line, and also like just the step process, getting the new license, like it happened so quick. I was like, what the hell? Like it happened in a matter of, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. Like it was wild. But and like I had to tell the guy that was handling my paperwork, I'm like, yeah, this is not what I this is not what I'm used to, or like what I remembered. But yeah, I don't know. I I hope this DMV, I hope it's the same in every state for people that have to actually physically go to the DMV. Because I'm telling you, that shit was like, it was like stress free, honestly. And you know, if you look at history, like everybody hated going to the fucking DMV. Um, so yeah, that was interesting. Um, and then the last like little update is something I realized. So Nicole had to dog sit for her sister over the weekend. So she was actually she was, away for like 4 days. Um, so it was just me and the cats. And I realized I started um I picked up on her poor habits of doom scrolling on her phone, especially before bed. Um, because like my rule is, when we start heading to bed, I charge my phone in the living room, right? So that there's never that temptation of going on my phone and just delaying my sleep schedule. But then she goes away for a few days, and what do you know? I'm charging my phone in the bedroom, and I'm just doom scrolling on Instagram and YouTube, and I'm just like, oh goddamn. And it was bad, like, because on the actual weekend, I was up till, what was it, Saturday night? I think Saturday night, I was up till like 3 a.m. And like my sleep scores too, they were just bad. Like, 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep or whatever. And I'm like, damn, this is this is not good. But she's back now and things are going back to normal. So the last thing we just need to be concerned about is the goddamn heat. Huh. Anyway, let's get on to the real stuff. The juice, as the kids would say. Um, so a few things have been brought to my attention over the course of last week. My homie Jerson, shout out to Jerson Lemos. He sent me a couple of videos of like these people with VR sets. I guess because Apple released their new VR set, Apple Vision, and so he sent me these videos of people just you know walking around with the thing on, and I guess there was like a VR convention that he sent me a video of, and I'm just like, yeah, this is wild. Um, and it's just like, yeah, we are really entering the era of Ready Player One, and it's just like I I don't really know what to make of it, honestly. Like I'll admit, like it's really cool, right? I think it's cool, the capabilities it has. I'm sure it can, you know, I'm sure it has positive impacts. It can benefit your fucking workflow, business, and like whatever needs to be done. But again, it's just like, how is it? how is this going to affect society socially, right? I mean, we're already witnessing how having our devices on us, has impacted, you know, our social skills, like, interacting with people in person, right? Like I always bitch about, seeing groups of friends hanging out at a restaurant or at a bar, and none of them are communicating amongst themselves. They're just on their phones. And it's just like, what are we doing here? So, that's always been my concern. But yeah, so like, I can see how it can benefit, but I can also kind of see how it may what would the word be? Just like like, is society, you know, communication wise, is it gonna digress? So I don't know. We can only wait and see, right? Um, but I watch these videos. There was one video, um, actually here. Let me pull up the clips that Homeboy sent me. I also went along and checked some other videos myself, but yeah, so like the first video he sent me is so if you're just listening, it's this guy crossing the street with his VR set on, and he's just interacting, right? Interacting with the interfaces that he sees on his VR set. And the caption on the video says, and so it begins. um, oop. Yeah, man. It's just at first, yeah, let me stop this. So at first, I'm like, can you? Because this is before I saw this other video that I'm about to share. But I was like, like, how well can you see through that while you're interacting with the interface? It's like he's crossing the street. So my initial reaction is like, yo, this dude, like, these people, they're gonna fucking get hit by a car, or like, collide with a biker, or just like other pedestrians. But I get you can actually see pretty well. Um, And the other video that he sent me was a clip from again, I guess it's like a VR convention with all these like neat devices. And the caption says VR is getting weird. And when you watch it, it's like, yeah. Like there's one item that they show, and it's like, bro. And this is, like, not to be a douche, but like this one item is certainly for like incels, all right? Like true, like 1000% introverts that lock themselves in their room in the dark, and the only light source in there are their screens. Um, but yeah, like let me pull it up. So the first thing you see are these things that look like I mean, that's kind of cool, but I've actually, so like they're cool, but so like the first couple things that I'm gonna address is well, the first one, right? It looks like one of those portable what are those Roombas, not Roombas, like those I don't know what brand, but like those portable speakers, like those little bars, but it's got like this thing that's like going up and down. It's holding, I don't know, was that a water bottle? What was that? It's holding something, but bro, like it's going up and down. It's got like this handle, and do the math, right? What's that for? What does this do? Huh? What do you put in that little, in that little handle thing, huh? I wonder. And then the other thing that you see in the second thing you see is like this person in like this chair. It's kind of like it looks like a little arcade set thing, and you sit in this chair, and it like fucking rotates and spins around and all this shit, which is cool, right? It's like a little ride. Um, but I have seen one with like a girl in it. I should have I'll pull it up later, but there was a girl sitting in it, and as it was rotating, the chair, the whole console thing just fucking fell over with her in it. That sucks. Like I guess there's got to be a weight capacity for it, right? Like you can't like, hey, before I even say this, not to put shade on, the obese community, but if you're, I mean, I don't know what the capacity is for that thing, but if it's I don't know 300 pounds, if you're over 300 pounds, you ain't going on that. Uh, you're gonna have to require two seats, right? It's like the whole airline situation. Uh, but anyway, I digress. um, but yeah, so this last one, it's this guy kind of just giving a review of the Apple Vision.
Show you guys just a little bit of what a real workflow might look like for the Vision Pro. See the Mac screen right here? By the way, full hand occlusion, which looks really nice and
So
smooth.
it's really cool. Like
Messages,
you can
Slack,
see
another Safari
everything
window right here.
in
Keyboard
front of and
works
behind
just
these
fine,
window screens.
like that. And also, my mouse will go over here.
Yeah.
And I can
Like
go
that's the
ahead
thing.
and
You got all
type
these windows
right
in
here.
front of you now.
And as I type, I can see a little preview.
Wherever you look, you
I'll
got
show you a couple
these
more
like
things.
windows.
Got the messages again. Got music set up here. Big screen TV set up on my wall. Gordon Ramsay showing me how to
Like
cook
I could
above the
see,
stove. Notes right here for some
I could
groceries.
see how it could increase
Can walk around
productivity, but
freely.
I also see the downside of
Here's
it.
what it
I
looks
feel
like when
like
it's on.
you'd be so fucking distracted with all these screens.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, hey, catch.
Thank you.
Oh God, that part.
And as we walk around the house, everything stays pinned exactly where we left it. And that's it. Let me know if you have questions.
Here's my question: was that fucking that little thing between you and your partner, was that staged? That shit was so fake. Oh, hey, here, catch. Like to give some like convincibility. Is that a word? Probably not, knowing me. But like to make it more convincing, at least like drop the ball. Hey, here, catch. Like, yeah. Anyway, so again, I think it's cool because like we're literally witnessing what we've seen throughout our childhood of like what the future could be like. We're Minority Report, Matrix, fucking like whatever, right? We are now witnessing it coming to fruition. It's coming to life. And so like that's cool. It's cool to be able to be alive uh to witness the advancements of technology, but again, man, I've regulation. There's got to be some sort of regulation, like a permit or a license. Like there's got to be some way to I don't know. Am I starting to sound like a communist or something here? I don't know. I just feel like there's got to be some way to regulate this because, just it's just gonna be like what happened with the phones, man. And that's again, I hate to be like a broken record, but that's my concern. Like, talking about distractions, like, man, seeing how distracted we are when we're on our phones, right? Like, at least if we wanted to get from one app to another or whatever, like, we had to, we got to do our thumb exercises or index finger exercises. We got to wand the finger. But now with the VR sets, it's like, like fucking screens everywhere. Ah! And I talked about this. I don't know the number of the episode, but I believe it's titled "The Current State of AI," and I brought up, like a hypothetical, like, all right, what happens if if your device gets hacked? Because like guaranteed that shit's gonna happen. It's gonna get hacked by somebody or a bot, whatever. That shit is it's gonna be prone to being hacked. So if that were to happen, like how's that gonna affect you, right? Like, are you just are you just gonna be spammed with all these like pop-up windows while you're trying to work? Like let's say, right? Like that guy, he has all those windows set up. I mean, in VR, it's like all over his home. So imagine just like walking through. I don't know why. I don't know why I put that in there, but like, yeah, imagine just going through the course of your day to day. Got all your windows set up in your VR, and if that shit gets hacked, like fuck, like like just again, it's like bukkake of of these like spam windows. So is that like is that what could happen if it gets hacked? If anyone tuning in, if you have any type any model of a VR set, let me know. Like, is it possible? Has it happened? I mean, I haven't come across any articles regarding that, but that's probably because I never put that in my algorithm. But it does bring up, right? That's got to be a good point, right? Who knows? Um, it's just once you put that chip in your head, man. um, so yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. It's just I don't know. I'm running out of words to say about this topic. We'll just wait and see, right? We will wait and see what happens moving forward. Um, the next thing I want to talk about that was brought up to my attention by my wife. Uh, so I guess like a week ago, a Canadian art teacher was accused of selling his students' artwork online. Putting it on mugs and T-shirts and all types of like merchandise. So, it was said in the article that the, you know, like some of his students, they wanted to see his artwork. So they went online to search it. And instead of finding his artwork, they found artwork from their classmates. And then of course the parents found out, and now they're trying to what do you call it? Let me just pull up the article. Um, I'll make sure I say like whatever articles or videos that I'm gonna get into. I'll be sure to share the links along with the timestamps. But at least like the article, the headline says parents threaten to sue. Yeah, they're suing the teacher and Lester B. Pearson School Board over the artwork. And it's crazy because I mean um let me just see. There's so many items too. Like that's what's wild. So again, he's putting the artwork on t-shirts, towels, like phone cases, you name it. And we're talking 2,976 listed items. Like, bro, that's fucking crazy. Like he must have been doing this shit for how long, right? I don't remember seeing that stated here, but the price range is ranging from in US dollars 30 to $120. Like, bro, what the fuck? So yeah, the two parents, let me read from here. The two parents are seeking an apology from the teacher and from the Lester B. Pearson School Board, disciplinary action against the teacher, removal of all of the usurped artwork from all of the teacher's platforms, and an end to the appropriation of the student's creation. The letter also demands $300,000 in compensation under Canada's Copyright Act and $50,000 in moral and punitive damages jointly from the school board and the teacher for both students. Dude. The letter also says a movement is underway to gather other parents and students to file a joint legal action that could easily reach seven figures in compensation and damages, given the impressive quantity of individual violations committed. The letter says it's also holding the school board responsible because the Quebec Civil Code makes an employer responsible for the wrongful acts of an employee. The letter adds that it's the responsibility of the school board to ensure that that teachers are evaluated, said that weird before, and their backgrounds and social media profiles checked before they're hired. In quotes, in this situation, it is evident that the trust of the public, the students, the parents, and specifically our clients in the school board and its representatives have been severely shaken, the letter states. Let me see if there's anything else. So it's wild. And there's no statement from the teacher. Although, hold on, this caught my attention. The artwork in question was created by 96 students for their art class with the teacher at Westwood Junior. The lawyer's letter says the work includes portraits the students made of themselves for a class project assigned by the teacher called Creepy Portrait. Since last week's discovery, the teacher's profile on one website where the artwork was listed for sale appears to have been removed. On another website, the teacher's profile name has been changed to his initials. Students' artwork could still be seen on the site on Tuesday. However, it instructed potential buyers to contact the artist directly to inquire about purchasing the original. See, that's sketchy. That's sketchy right there. Yeah, wild. And this sucks, man. Like, just again, like that trust, you know. Um, and like I said to my wife, I was like, dude, like, it's bad enough, with AI, how AI data scraps, data scraps or data scrapes, I always mix it up. But it goes through billions of data from other artists and just other whatever content. So it was bad enough that we got this artificial intelligence, taking billions of data in a matter of seconds and then creating something quote unquote original, like bullshit. So, fuck that guy. Um, yeah, it sucks. So hopefully everything works out and that the parents win, the students win. Um, but yeah, it's fucked up. And I wonder if I wonder if that shit happens here, right? When something that fucked up happens, naturally you got to start thinking like, all right, now how often does this happen all around? And is that happening here in the US? Um, you know, I obviously I could just look it up and find out, but I don't have a Jamie, right? You know what I'm referencing is Joe Rogan's podcast engineer guy. Probably not the right title. But yeah, I don't have a Jamie to like quickly search up, stuff, that I can look at. Um, but yeah, man, it's fucked up. And this is a great segue into just the topic of AI. Because then I saw a video on YouTube titled AI art book scam. And I will provide the link for this video so you can check it out. It's like I don't know, 12-minute video. Um, but it appears like there's at least this one book, I forget what the name of the book is. It's like pencil sketching or something like that. But the book doesn't credit any artist's work that's provided in that book. Um, Nor have they responded to any criticism, let alone negative criticism, um, in regards to that book. So it's like it's just weird. I guess it's like they're just putting this, they're just publishing this book and then just raking in the money, from buyers, and it's that's fucked up, man. And if you watch the video, like there's like pages where, when they like break down, let's say, because it looks like it's like a portrait, it's a book to it's like a character design book or like, portrait book. Shows you how to draw a head, you know. Um and the way some of the pages, the way they show you like the breakdown, it's like, it's almost like, how do you even get from point A to B or A to C, B to C, so on and so forth? Like they skip so many stages or so many steps. And from what was shown, like a lot of it, there was like no worded instructions. It's like all visuals. Like there might be like a couple statements here and there, but yeah, if I'm gonna say, especially artists and aspiring artists, like check out the link. I'll put it in the description below, but check it out because it's definitely eye opening. And that's the worry amongst uh I can't say all artists, but I'll say a great majority of artists, including myself. Like that's the worry about what's being put out there. Especially if it's our work. If our work is being put out there or being used and they're profiting off of it, like what the fuck, dude? That's fucked up. So that's why like I have a pretty strong stance against, AI art in general. It's just, again, it's taking all that data from other creatives and then putting it together. Like, I don't know if I went on this rant before. There was like one AI artist who makes these videos, these like sort of like dream-like sequences. And it always starts from a photo of him or like a little video of him doing something, and then it starts transitioning into this dream-like sequence. And I don't know how he's making money or how much he's making, but it's like besides the photo or video that he provides, like the rest of the other shit, like that, none of that, or at least like maybe like a very small little percentage of all that is probably might be like some of his data, but fuck, man, like shit, a lot of what you're seeing, man, that's not original art. So, for to be able to do something like that and then call it your own and then call yourself an AI artist, like that just it's frustrating. Um, but yeah, there was a comment that I saw, uh, and they were saying, and it was good. They like left timestamps so that you can like see what they're talking about specifically. But one commenter claimed that a lot of the pages um have been stolen from the artist, and his name is Andrew Loomis. Sorry, I'm like stammering here. Andrew Loomis, um, very well known, like highly regarded illustrator and writer. Like he's published his own books, instructing how to draw a head. So they fucking named the technique after him. It's called the Loomis technique, and it involves like drawing the circle, and you got the cross and everything, you know. Um, I mean, I use it, but they were claiming that a lot of that material was stolen from his pages, and they were put in that book. And there's like, there's time he left they left timestamps so you can see which ones that I guess they believe were taken from Loomis. Like, what a shit show, really. And again, the trust, and I think that's the thing with today is like we are losing trust in in society, with media, uh, with news and all that. Like we don't know what's staged, what's scripted. It's hard to find things that are like really authentic. Um, I mean, you got there's a lot out there, but again, I mean, at least for me, because I feel like with all these advancements, I'm becoming more like I have more trust issues now. Um, because you don't know, you don't know when what you're seeing has been tampered with, right? Like for example, fucking AI deepfakes. There was a video, um, there's like a short video. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm doing air quotes here, and Margot Robbie. It looks like they're at some event, probably some award event, whatever. But they're like dancing. It's using that one song.
Wow, you can really dance. Wow, you can really dance. He went.
These deep fakes are pretty fucking convincing. Like the only way you can really know for sure if it's fake is like, all right, this is really out of there. This is off brand. Like this is out of characteristics of the actor or whoever's face they're using. Like if you know this celebrity well enough, like off camera, it'd be like they wouldn't fucking do that. I mean, like, how would you know unless you truly know them personally? But like you watch the video and it's like, I don't see Leonardo DiCaprio dancing and like, you know, conforming to this, like, taking part in this, like, I don't know, it's like TikTok shit. He's too busy plowing, mid-20s chicks. No, actually mid-20s is the cutoff, right? You gotta be early 20s to get with him. Um, but yeah, so you got shit like that. I remember there's somebody out there that uses Keanu Reeves' face, which I don't know how they get away with that because I know Keanu Reeves has like this thing. I mean, it's contractual. I don't know if that's a word, but I know he has like a clause that like, hey, if you're gonna use like I guess if you gotta he has to approve that you use his likeness, and if you do use his likeness, you can't, there are like lines that you can't cross. Um, but yeah, I mean I don't know if anything like that would affect people deep faking his face, but yeah, and also like you know going back to art, music, photos, like like you have to really like scrutinize the content to truly believe that it's authentic, right? I mean, you got the Kardashians are famously known for their Photoshop fuckery with their photos, which is hilarious because I mean they're very attractive, right? Already. Um, but yet they gotta Photoshop any little minor flaws and imperfections. It's like, dude, you're already fucking beautiful. Like, what the hell? But like there's that, and then just like with videos, like you don't know when things are, again, I said it earlier, you don't know when things are scripted, and of course the way things are edited, with cuts and stuff like that. Same thing with artwork. Like, sometimes you don't know if that person made that art. Um, so, um, like another thing, I saw this video of this guy. Um, Let me just pull up the link because no, the least I can do is like address the name. But there's this guy that I guess um he kind of like reviews like music and vocalists and stuff, and um oh his YouTube page is called Wings of Pegasus. But he reviews these talented singers, and he talks about well he dives into it to see if it truly is all authentic, right? um and in the video, again, that I will provide the link, but in the video he's reviewing this one singer, um because all these people were just praising her, in terms of like the pitches, like she's got these like very clean pitches in her singing, and it's just like like pristine. So he like does his thing. I don't know. He like puts it. I don't know. I don't even know how to like articulate it, but he like puts it through like a software where he can see like the vocal pitches, and he's able to tell when something's being fucked with, basically. And he points out how a lot of singers, and I mean, shit, a lot of us can tell, especially with auto tune. We can tell when auto tune is being used, but he's able to identify when a singer is using pitch, what do they call it? Pitch correction. Um, and he's like pointing out like when the singer, when she's um enunciating like L's, like he points out how um he calls it mimicking, right? Or miming. So like he like points out like how you can tell when a singer is just miming as opposed to actually singing live. And one of the ways of identifying when a singer is just miming a recording is when they say the L sounds. Oh, right. So if you're listening, you're not gonna be able to see this, obviously. But so when you're doing the right, the tip of your tongue is hitting the roof of your mouth, right? But I guess, you like in her video, and he points it out when she's doing the L sound, she's like exaggerating it, like her tongue is like coming out, where naturally when you're like it doesn't, your tongue doesn't poke out of your mouth at all, like it's tucked in there and pressing against the top of your mouth. Um, so that was one of the things that he had identifies, and it's true because I'll watch a lot of videos of people performing, and I'll like see if they're if they're miming or lip syncing. So it's like, are you really singing? Let me see your Adam's apple or whatever. Is it vibrating? Is your throat vibrating because you're adding vibrato to your notes, like whatever. Um, so I really thought that was interesting and something to really take an account for, because like again, authenticity, and ultimately it really, I mean, this is going to be a bold statement, I'd say, but like all this shit that's happening, as great as technology is and how well it can benefit our society, it also compromises our integrity, our morale, like, because, there's an easier way to do things. So fuck it. Why not? Um, so, specifically with artists, it's just like artists that, have no issue using AI to, you know, make their stuff and sell it or whatever. Artists, creatives, whoever. Um, like if they're not in any way bothered about using material that is not of their own, or just like, just like tampering with their whatever, to make it better, to perfect it, like that's it's fucked up, because like I do believe that imperfection is and can be perfection. Um, and vice versa. Perfection has its imperfections. They're hand in hand, yin yang. And so that is my belief right now. That's you know our human integrity and morale overall is compromised. Um, and yeah, and I hate to make this episode kind of like a doom and gloom. I know when it comes to my episodes regarding AI, it's always like fear, kind of like fear mongering, which, yeah, to an extent it is, but I'm also trying to, you know, bring it to light, bring these matters to light, because it's so marginalized and people are easily, you know, persuade and convinced and impressionable to, fucking eat that shit up, man. And I just want to be like, nah, man, don't fall for that shit. So yeah, and I wish I don't have any inspirational or meaningful quotes to brighten this up, you know, other than what I said in the last AI episode, which was a quote by Steve Martin, famous comedian, comedic actor. He says, "Be so good they can't ignore you." Um, and I wholeheartedly believe that. Like, and I said it in that episode. Like let's try to the best of our ability, try to take this moment and like use it as fuel to help you progress, to help you advance to the next level of your work, become better, be undeniably good at what you're doing so that, consumers will want to come to you instead of AI art, AI music, facial filters, like you name it. If you're creating something, develop your skill set so that you cannot be denied when people see your work. All right. And I mean, I hope that's inspirational and motivational for you. And I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to like rant too much on that point, but yeah, I hope that kind of, you know, just alleviates the pressure of like what we're going through as a society. And yeah, and before I I kind of feel guilty doing this, but I do want to plug something before I wrap this up. uh because your boy is an artist, so I create art. I try to make money creating art, and I want to let you guys know, um if you're familiar with my work and you enjoy my work, whether you're seeing it on social media or on my YouTube channel, I am open for commissions, uh and I am offering for first time clients. If you're a first time client with me, you receive an automatic 10% discount. Um, and yeah, I do commissions, private commissions, throughout the year, and I'm currently, like, in episode 178, I talked about this event that was coming up, and just to quickly review that, it was nice. It was like a small little event. It was for Valentine's Day. Uh, and I made a little bit of money. I didn't have any high expectations. I spent little in preparation for this event. So it was nice to actually, to sell a few items, although that money went away real quick after I paid a vendor fee for one event. But I've applied to a bunch of events for this spring going into the summer. And typically in terms like the reviewing process, that takes time. And usually if we do, like, applicants, if they do um receive an exception email, that's usually like 2, maybe 3 weeks out of the event date. So I'm really not gonna know like what my event lineup is gonna be like this year. Uh, so that being said, if you want some customized art, holla at your boy. Find me on social media, shoot me a DM, let me know that you heard me from the podcast, or from any of my posts, um, you know, marketing my services, and yeah, we'll work on from there. So that is all for this episode. I actually kept this within an hour, just about. Yeah, please, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay driven, folks. And I shall catch you on the next one. Peace out.